Right, well, one of the very basic things that you'll need to do is to have something happen when two objects or two sprites collide. So this is just a very simple thing that's set up with a bat and a ball, and I'll show you what happens. Green flag. So all that happens is that the ball moves randomly. I'm not using any of the keys, and it is bouncing off the blue area. It's bouncing off the edges, and when it hits the bat, which also is just hasn't got any controls on it at the moment, you'll see that it said strike, didn't it? So the background changed to say strike. Is it going to do that one more time for me? I think it is. There you go, strike. Okay, so let's have a little look and see what we've got going on there. First of all, you've got if on edge bounce. Now that's an inbuilt thing in Scratch that you'll find in the blue motion block, which does exactly what it says. If something's on the edge, it will bounce off the screen. Now I've got a very simple stage, and I put a blue stripe down the right hand side just so that I could show you the sensing if touching a colour. So if touching the blue colour, point in a random direction and move. So essentially I don't really need that because it would bounce anyway, but I wanted to show you what would happen for touching a colour. Actually I do need that, because if I just leave it on if on edge bounce, then we don't have anything random. And if you've seen the jumping tutorial I've done, you will have seen that we've got some not touching. So you can have something happen if something's not happening. So in this case, the ball moves down, drops down forever, as long as it's not touching something red. Okay, and you can see there that you've got a green and a turquoise. So the sensing comes here. It's the turquoise section. And what you have is the ability to touch the edge of the screen, a mouse pointer, a colour, if a particular colour is over another colour. Okay, so you can, if a key is pressed, a distance towards a mouse pointer, or in fact another sprite. If I go on to this one again and we look at the turquoise sensing, because we have two sprites, we now have if touching bat, and you can see that in here. So if touching the bat, point in a random direction and move 10 steps. Okay, so there's various other things that you can play around with, but those are the basics. Now to get the background to change, so you've got here if touching bat, let's just make that a little bit bigger, so I don't think it does make it bigger, does it? If touching bat, point in a random direction, move 10 steps and broadcast change. And if I just click on the stage and we look at the backgrounds, we've got the first one, which is just the straightforward one with the blue line on it, and then we've got the copy where it says strike. And when a broadcast is two sprites, or a sprite and the stage, communicating with each other, so if something happens and you want to control something else on another sprite or on the background, you create a broadcast. So let's just have a look at that again. If touching the bat, point and move, and broadcast change, and the stage receives, when I receive change, you switch to background 2, i.e. strike, wait a second, and then switch back. And actually it's much better practice to name your backgrounds, so start and strike. And of course this is how you would then build up different levels. Okay, you can see how it's important to have, when the green flag is clicked, you start with the start background, and there you go. And you can see the block flashing. Let's see if I can get it to do it again. You can see the block flashing when it hits, because it receives that instruction strike that's been broadcast when those two objects collide. So that's the basics of collision. You need to investigate the sensing block and combine it with some ifs, work out what it is you want to do and get it in the right order.